Hello, brothers and good men. With everything going on in the world with them destroying farming, agriculture, things of this nature, getting rid of fertilizer, and just the goings on today, I thought I'd make a video about things that nobody talks about and being prepared. Simple things that we take for granted, and a lot of people just don't stop to realize how important this stuff is. So here we go. Do you have plenty of nails? Do you have plenty of screws? Do you have plenty of nuts and bolts? Do you have plenty of fasteners, threaded rod, things of this nature? Because, there may not be a hardware store to go get them. And they're easy enough to store. I'm fortunate. I've done construction all my life. I've got a lifetime of this stuff. I've got buckets and buckets and buckets of them. Do you have hand tools? Crosscut saws. Do you have a hand saw for carpentry? Do you have sledgehammers? Do you have wedges? Not just one or two wedges. Do you have, 10 in case you have to split logs? And you do that with wedges. Do you have shovels? Do you have, that type of stuff? Do you have steel traps? I have steel traps. I'm not a trap fan because they're indiscriminate. But I have them. I know how to use them, how to set them, how to bait them. Because better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. That is my philosophy in life. Do you have spark plugs? Do you have, spare alternators, starters, radiators for your vehicle? Do you have a vehicle that's old and don't have a computer? Because that's going to be important. Now you say, Stone, there'll be no gas. I know. But there's this invention called a gasifier, and I very strongly suggest everybody research this. You can run the old vehicles on them and not need no gasoline. You can run your generators on them, no gasoline, and you're like, well, I've got solar panels, and yeah, that's all good and well too, but what if a hailstorm comes and busts your solar panels all to pieces? Then what? Do you have extra blankets? Do you have oil lamps? Do you have clear kerosene? A good supply of it for your oil lamps. Do you have a wood stove? Those in the cities, well, no, I ain't got a wood stove. I live in the city. There's no wood here. Well, you could take paper and condense it down and make it really dense, and it'll burn for a good little bit and keep you warm enough where you won't freeze to death. All the trash and shit in the cities, that's better than nothing. Of course, in the country, you can get wood. Do you have plenty of rope? That's important. Do you have wire? Wire's important too, because you can make, snares. You can use it to fasten things. Wire is very, very handy and useful. Do you have extra gloves? Do you have extra socks? Do you have extra underwear? Do you have, extra boots that you can have, so your boots wear out, you have something to fall back on. Do you have a life straw? I personally, now this is only good if you got power, but I have a little 1-gallon water distiller. You put a gallon of water in it and it evaporates, it cools down, comes out, it's pure water. It ain't got nothing else in it. The heat kills all of the germs, bacteria and stuff. And if any particulates or anything in the water, it just stays in there. Do you have books? Books will be very important. I know in this age of digital everything, a book is often overlooked, but you need books on where you live, the area that you live in, to tell you what plants out there is useful for medicine, for food. That also tells you the ones that will kill you or is poisonous or is bad for you, so you can have that book for reference in case you're hungry and you don't know exactly what you need to harvest and eat. Do you have extra handles for your tools, your shovels, your hammers, and things of that nature? Nobody ever talks about having extra handles. Do you have an axe? Do you have a hand axe? Do you have a hatchet? Do you have a wet rock? Do you have the skill to sharpen your knives and your axes and things? Do you have a hoe? Do you have a garden fork? You can have you a garden without a tiller or a plow if you got a garden fork. You just do it a sod at a time and bust that up, and you can plant and grow your food. Do you have seeds to grow your food? Do you have plenty of mason jars for canning? Do you have a canner? And if you do you have 5 times as many lids as you do cans? Because without the lids, the cans is useless. Do you have a candle making kit? Do you have candles? These are some things that nobody talks about. And there's plenty more. And I'm hoping this will create a question in your minds to where you get to digging on your own and find out what you personally might need that nobody else is talking about. And then you put that video up. And then we can all learn from each other and be better prepared for what may or may not be coming. And myself, I believe it's coming very rapidly. So brothers and good men, I hope this helped you and got you thinking about things outside the box on being prepared. As always, good men, get what you can, when you can, every time you can. Time is getting short. Keep your heads on a swivel. Pay attention and be a gray man.